What does an abomination mean?
Something against what God has put together. We're going against the will of God.
An abomination is something filthy, vile, detestable. Christ is telling you, don't get focused on the motivational speeches in the church. T.D. Jakes and Creflo and Joel Osteen and all these liars. They're all liars and demons. Your kingdom, building your people up, building a kingdom together.
That's right.
You understand? That's what's kept us down so long. We've never had that. God is waiting for us to get that in order. And some of us will, many of us won't. Christ is saying, this is your prayer list. The things that you pray for, this is what you should be praying for. Read.
Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
You give glory to the Father in heaven first, right? They changed that. Now, the Sistine Chapel has a white image of God, not the image that looks like you, that you are made in that image, the black God. You understand? Keep going.
Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth.
So, thy kingdom come. Whose kingdom? God's kingdom. The Israelites is God's kingdom. You see the 12 tribes on that sign? Thy kingdom come means you're next to rule. You understand that? Your people are next to rule. And let me ask you this. Do you think God is going to go back and forth with any of the other nations? No. Do you think America is willingly going to let you rule? So how is that going to happen?
A lot of tragedy.
Huh?
A whole lot of tragedy.
It's going to be a whole lot of tragedy. That's why, as y'all pray for that, hold that Zephaniah 1 and 8. Zephaniah 1 and 8. One of the laws in the Bible, right? In your kingdom, you're going to go by God's will, which is His commandments. One of the laws in the Bible, you may have the dietary law, you may have the dress code. Look what God says.
And it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord's sacrifice.
When is the day of the Lord's sacrifice? And who's being sacrificed?
That I will punish the princes and the king's children.
I'm just asking y'all questions for y'all to think. When you go through this book, you have to think. It's been far too long. We go to church and we're not thinking. We're just being hit with the minstrel show. You understand? We don't think. There's tragedy in these streets. We go in the church and leave accepting the tragedy.
Right.
That's not how God works. You understand? Read it again.
And it shall come to pass in the days of the Lord's sacrifice.
The what?
The day of the Lord's sacrifice.
The day. There's a day where the Lord is going to sacrifice. Who? Your enemies. God's enemies. The people who have oppressed you and your mothers and your fathers and their fathers. Generations upon generations. And one day, God is going to, He's going to lay it down. Read.
That I will punish the princes and the king's children.
But the princes and the king's children are us. Why? Read.
And all such as are clothed with strange apparel.
Strange apparel is cross-dressing. You understand? Men wear pants. Women wear dresses. That's a law according to the Bible.
Right.
If you read Deuteronomy 22:5, it's going to tell you why. When you go into church, they don't tell you why. But we're going to read it for you to understand. You should not be believing in anything that you don't understand, that you can't explain, that you can't point to a reference and say, this is why. You understand what I'm saying? Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 22 verse 5. The woman shall not wear that pertaineth unto a man.
Okay, keep going.
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
Sounds sexist, sounds homophobic, sounds transphobic. Read that again.
The woman shall not wear that pertaineth unto a man.
But this is God's order. This is God's order. Read.
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. For all that do so are an abomination unto the Lord.
What does an abomination mean?
Sin.
You said sick?
Sin.
Close.
Sin.
Sin?
Sin.
Yes. But what does that mean?
Something against what God has put together. We're going against the will of God.
You're in the realm. Come a little closer. Come a little closer. I just want to hear you a little better. An abomination is something filthy, vile, detestable. If you see a dog pull up right here and he throw up right there, you're going to be like, ugh. That's an abomination. And guess what? That dog is going to lick that vomit up 30 seconds later.
Right.
That's an abomination. You understand? That's an example. You know what else is an abomination? Swine is an abomination. The pig, the Lord says, don't eat the pig, don't eat the clam, don't eat the mussel. Why? You gotta ask yourself, why is God separating us from doing these things? And why is he calling them abominations? You ever heard of trichinosis? No? I know. It's not a term usually meant. But a lot of folks in New Orleans get trichinosis. What's the #1 food they eat in New Orleans? Seafood. Seafood. The very things in Leviticus 11 it tells us not to eat. Those things breed parasites, all kind of sickness, gout, all kind of, you know what I mean? We eat that stuff here too. They catch trichinosis in New York. You understand what I'm saying? Back to Matthew 6 and 9. But we're going to go back to it. What are we really praying for in that prayer list? That's the question.
And after this manner, therefore, pray ye, Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
So Christ is telling you, don't get focused on the motivational speeches in the church. T.D. Jakes and Creflo and Joel Osteen and all these liars. They're all liars and demons. You understand that? This is what you should focus on. Read.
Thy kingdom come.
Your kingdom, building your people up. Read.
Thy will be done in earth.
God's commandments is the will. That's his will. If God commands you to do something, he's willing you to do something. Read.
As it is in heaven.
As what?
As it is in heaven.
When you in the heavens, it's already, whatever God say, that's just what it is. God is waiting for us to get that in order. And some of us will, many of us won't.
Right.
Read.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us this day our daily bread.
And
You understand the amount of oppression the black and Hispanic man has gone through on this earth? On this earth. Mothers raped, wives raped. That's psychological damage just there. That's before the man is even touched. You gotta go witness that. That's psychological damage right there.
Bring it out.
You understand what I'm saying? Think about the psyche of the woman on the cargo slave ship during her time of menstrual. Think about that. And you pack like sardines with other women, and it's all different times of menstrual. And guess what? The white man don't give a damn. You're gonna be in there, in that cabin, stinking. Think about it. I gotta put it like that so we get the picture of how evil and diabolical our oppressors are. You understand what I'm saying? Read.
And forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our what?
Our debts. As we forgive our debtors.
We gotta forgive each other. Our own people. Black men murder each other at an alarming rate. Black women murder each other at an alarming rate. You understand? Now you got women that's picking up guns and then competing with the men for who catching the most bodies.
Right.
This is the mentality we're going to. You know, I saw something crazy yesterday. Went viral. It was a young girl. She's doing an interview at 14 years old about being a prostitute in Los Angeles. She's walking the strip in Figueroa. And guess what? The mother was a prostitute. You understand what I'm saying? There's a lot of things our people are caught up in. We got trauma. The father was a pimp. And guess what? The interviewer interviewed the mother, no accountability. And they didn't even get to the father yet. But you already know the father ain't gonna be accountable. You understand what I'm saying? Read that again.
And forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors.
Look, we got to start seeing each other as gods. We have to start seeing each other, that image of Christ, not the white man in our minds. This caused us to hate each other.
Right.
You understand? Keep going.
And lead us not into temptation.
Into what temptation? The cross-dressing tempts us to do sin. The eating the unclean food tempts us to do sin. Oh, what's that? I want to try that. I want to join in. The joining gangs tempts us to go steal, rob, kill, scam.
Bring it out.
All of it. You understand what I'm saying? There's way more. That list is long. That list is long. Those are just the obvious things. Keep going.
But deliver us from evil.
Deliver us from evil who are our oppressors.
Bring it out.
You understand? Keep going.
For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory.
Meaning what? You giving that glory back to the Father. That's where it comes from. That's what's going to keep black men in check, black women in check, Hispanic women in check, Hispanic men in check, loving each other, building a kingdom together.
That's right.
You understand? That's what's kept us down so long. We've never had that. We've been worshiping the white man. You can't get all this from the white man.
Right.
While he's got his foot on your neck, oppressing us. But in these churches, 8 churches there, 7 churches there, 13 churches up the street, they all turning you to the white man. You give the glory to the white man. Even those that say, oh, well, we don't have the white image up. It's still the white man's policies. It's still the white man's breakdown. It's all of that. It's all Satan at the end of the day.
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. His word